So do you see how like stable your core is right now? Happy spot for cleat placement is key.
Hello world, Q here. This is just a brief video to show you my experience that I had with Sonny Waas over at Velo-Stop.com. He did an awesome job as my bike had a lot of issues and stuff that I learned about myself. Again, this will be a brief video to show you my experience as everybody's will be different when you go in to get fitted from him. To be continued, I present to you Sonny Waas. Why do you do bike fits the way you do?
After I started doing bike fits, I realized that the way things were done didn't always bring the best outcome for everybody. So I've kind of done more self-study, certainly more, and also self-experimentation to get a handle of how the human body interacts with bikes and use that to change what everybody thinks a bike fit should be.
Why do you use bike wedges?
Of the way the human foot has evolved. We evolved to run and walk and do things and not ride a bike. A bike is a very, very unnatural thing for humans to do. So everybody has a certain degree of forefoot varus or valgus, and you know what that means. If you have a lot of varus on the downstroke, your knee will also have side to side movement, and that can lead to injury, and also is not the most efficient way of turning a pedal that goes up and down. So wedges for road and mountain help alleviate some of that.
Why is it not a good idea to just purchase a bike based off the company's size or bike chart from a bike salesperson?
There's a chance that the salesperson may not take into account any physiological problems that you might have. It could be medical, meaning you have hip impingement issues, like range of motion issues in your knees or ankles or hip, again a hip. Yeah, those things can be big if they don't spend the time to figure out. In the video you'll see that you're upright, seats close, right? Pelvis is almost tilted back compared to where it should be. Neutral pelvis, all about that. We need that on the bike as well. We need hamstring engagement, glute engagement. Okay. So your left cleat is way out on these shoes. Right. So you're gonna feel a little unstable on that side specifically, because your calf, the smallest, probably the weakest muscle in the whole group, is trying to work to stabilize your ankle while everything is pushing down. So it's going to fatigue the fastest under stress, like sustained stress. Right? So we'll look at the front ankle now, keep spinning. On assessment, found that Q has about twice as much varus on his right foot than on his left. So what that means, and he saw in the mirror when he was pedaling, that his right knee would come in towards the frame at the bottom of the stroke, the left not so much. So why is fixing that important? And we discussed this before. We want to minimize lateral movement of the knee. Pedals go up and down, so we want to get the knees doing close to that as possible, just to reduce long-term effects and damage due to repetitive stress. So the fix we've done is added wedges, 1 degree here and 3 degrees on his right shoe. We've also used some adapters to move his cleats more towards the midfoot. Better engagement of the posterior chain with that. And that'll give us a good foundation for the rest of his fit. Pedal, look in the mirror, and we're going to look at your right hip, okay? So you see that movement? Yes. So that is what I mean when I say your pedal, stop right there. Now, going through here, knees coming up, hip went up.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So physiologically, you can turn that crank efficiently without a break in the chain of muscles that makes this happen.
Okay.
So some muscles have to disengage just to come, it's going to go out of optimal range,
okay,
right? And then it goes over the top and re-engages.
Yes.
Right? So that's another benefit of a shorter crank. You kind of stay engaged through the whole, pedal stroke. Your higher output is there at a shorter crank, At a certain cadence, your pull is non-existent. Above a certain number. Because the pull muscles are so small that they can't overpower the downside, the downstroke.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So at a higher cadence, you just can't be thinking about push-pull.
Okay.
Like sub say for me, like anything under like 50, then like going up Super Flagstaff or something, Deer Creek, you've done Deer Creek. Then I can think about push-pull at 12, 13, 14, 15%. But, you're more efficient pedaling. So that's a 120 stem going on -6. So yours was flipped up earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to change the saddle a little bit. And once that's settled, it just like, boof, falls into place, man. So do you see how like stable your core is right now?